Good evening. My name is Benedicta Chama, a candidate of Lead for Ghana, and as part of the assessment process, I'm supposed to record a video of myself teaching English to JHS2 students. Good morning, class. How are you all doing? I'm also fine, thank you. So today, we'll continue with our discussion on report writing. So now, who can tell me the definition of report writing? Okay, Paul. Very good. Yes, who else? Excellent. Any other? Okay, now examples of report writing. An event. Yeah, a sabia. A fight. Who else? A trip. Excellent. I see you guys prepared for the class before coming. Okay, so today we are going to talk about the features and the use of language in report writing. Now to the features. So with the features, we have the heading. You all know that with any essay or any report you write, you need to have a heading. Even in a letter that you write to your friend, you bring a heading. So without a heading in report writing, it's not valid. So don't forget to bring your heading before you start with anything. And now the introduction. You need to introduce your work, what you are going to do. What are you writing about? Why are you writing it? This is very important. And then also don't forget the day, the date and time this particular activity happened. And then, as always, after the introduction, you move on to the body. So now you're going to tell the reader what this report is about, what actually happened at the event, what happened during your trip. And as Paul, as Asabia, and as all of you know, in report writing, you need to be brief and sharp. You need to go straight to the point. You don't have to beat around the bush. It should be brief, it should be very sharp. And so after the body, you go to the conclusion, you conclude. And then right after the conclusion, don't forget your full name, not just your first name, not your last name, your full name and then your signature for the reader to know who wrote the report. Now to the use of language. In report writing, we use formal language. Unlike our letters we write to our colleagues in other schools, where we use informal languages like the kind of words we choose in writing our essays, exactly writing letters to your boyfriends, to your sisters and whoever. Use formal language in report writing. Be careful with your choice of words because you are writing the report either to your headmaster, your manager or the president, you never know. So it should be formal. And then it should be in the passive form. You remember what we talked about passive and then the active, right? Yeah, so passive form. And with passive, you emphasize on the action and the object and not the subject. Emphasize on the action and the object. An example we used last week with regards to passive voice. The car was washed by Amma. This is passive. So in your report writings, it should be in passive form. Another example. Kofi is bathing the dog. This is for active. Kofi is bathing the dog, which is for active. And then in the passive form, the dog was bathed by Kofi. The dog was bathed by Kofi. Don't forget these two, active and passive. In report writing, we use the passive form. Don't forget. And then we use the formal language. And now, due to the activity going on the field today, I would end here. But before we all go, you wait, all open your books to page 57. Yeah, open your books to page 57. Now, you see the sample reports there. So for your homework this weekend, the first one, go through, take your time, read through the report here. Take your time and read through and understand. And then as a guide, your second homework, you write a report about the activity happening today on the field, the sport. And no excuse on Monday, please. No excuse on Monday. Class prefect, first thing in the morning on Monday, you take the books, bring them to my class. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you and see you next week.